Chapter 82. Before time ends, it will travel backwards. I wonder why, Laura encouraged, scooting closer, trying to keep Stacy cognizant, holding her gaze, their lips almost touching. I think it has to do with the turtles of being. Yes, that's what I was thinking too. I knew you'd understand, Stacy smiled. The shells, they're hard and they're impenetrable. She swallowed hard, having difficulty believing she was actually talking like Stacy. Material that flips time. Quickly changing the subject, she suggested, Hey, listen, Stacy, do you want to play a game? Game? Yeah, like checkers or chess, but different. She glanced at the clock. 5:04 a.m. The girl pondered. Game. Sure, I need to be out of this straitjacket, though. Do you know a way to get it off? Stacy got out a paperclip from the back of her desk drawer and began working on the lock on the belt. Within a minute, the jacket was off. Don't ask me where I learned that. She seemed so proud. Thank you, Laura said with genuine gratitude. So, what's the game? It makes me feel good when someone chokes me until I pass out. I kind of try to see how long I can go. The longest I've made is 10 minutes. 5 minutes without oxygen and the brain begins to die. So Laura thought that 10 minutes ought to be enough. Game? She frowned. Yeah, I'll close my eyes, lie on the bed, and you squeeze my neck for 10 minutes. Her eyes narrowed. Doesn't sound like a game. It is. I want to break my record. Sounds like you still want to kill yourself. This is just fun, I promise. Nah. It's completely harmless. I've done it lots of times. It just slows the blood down to your head a little. Why don't you want to live? I do. This adds excitement to life, like stepping close to the edge of a cliff. She looked away. I don't want to hurt you. You won't. Stacy froze, staring blankly at the clock. No, don't go away. It's safe. But it was too late. The girl's consciousness had vanished, and Laura gave up. It was too hard to convince Stacy to kill her. The girl was a good person, and she would never choose to destroy another human being. Laura would have to find another way. She went to the door and tried turning the knob. Locked, of course. She went to her bed and lay down. Too bad you couldn't just think yourself to death. If that were possible, she would have died long ago. She tried thinking of other ways. She thought of biting her wrist again, but remembered how difficult it had been in the jail cell. Stacy's paperclip was too flimsy to do real damage by stabbing an artery in Laura's neck. There must be another way that she had overlooked and that the hospital had not anticipated. She crinkled the sheets of the bed in her clenched fists. The paperclip was better than nothing. But then a better idea formed. If Stacy wouldn't strangle her, Laura could strangle herself. She pulled off the bedsheet and rolled it into a rope. She made a noose at one end, but she would need somewhere to tie the other end so that when she fainted, her own weight would continue to keep tension on the knot to stop her from regaining consciousness. There was no high place in this room or the closet to tie it, though. Stacy was still frozen, looking at the clock, both arms pointing down. Laura put her head in the noose and cinched it tight around her neck, quickly trying a knot so that it would not loosen before she blacked out. Light-headed, she fell on the bed. White sparkles dappled her vision. Then her vision darkened. Blackness. Peace. Then slowly, a light. Awake now, opening eyes to a room with 2 beds. She was on the bed furthest from the hall in the hospital. An IV needle stung in her arm. She pulled it out. She made it. Laura sat there in her bed for a moment to absorb the reality of having freed herself and to work her limbs to prepare for movement. She was excited but weak. It had been over a week since she had been awake here. Her watch read 5:22 a.m. Feelings of failure drowned her excitement. It was too late.